Ladies and gentlemen, we have officially entered the dark timeline. In case you missed the latest episode of Overdrive Glory, first of all, I'm very proud of you, but second of all, the worst that could have possibly happened has happened. Edge has I can't even speak because I'm still very much torn up about it. I'm pretty sure I'm passing kidney stones now because I'm so sad. Edge secured his 10th successful defense of the Internet Championship, which means that he now has a date with Seth Rollins. Of course, when you cash in, pretty much can do it effective immediately. So, we will have to discuss what we want to do as we are just a few weeks out from Phoenix Rising. But we will have an official match between Edge and Seth Rollins for the Galactic Championship before Phoenix Rising is upon us. This is truly a dark day for our country, alas. Elias, hello?
Yeah, we're here. Gary, great job, kid. I expect great things from you in the future. Edge, realistically, is probably going to cash in the week before, just to make it funny. But we'll get there. I am very curious to see what happens here tonight on Pride now that Edge has forever shaken up the title picture of not one, but two titles. The Internet title and the Galactic Championship. But knowing that a glory contracted, glory drafted superstar is the first person to not hit not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, like LeBron said, but 10 championship defenses with a title that is your brainchild, is your baby that you made, brings me great joy.
I have not slept, I have not shaved, I have not shat, I have not showered. It has been a very rough week. Only thing to make me feel better is to ignore everything he just said because he's a douchebag and go straight into tweets for this week. Larry, Greg, whoever you are, go ahead and put that stuff up. Our first tweet of the evening coming from Mia Yim, who, to everyone's surprise, tried to interfere in the contender versus contender match last week. Zoe Stark facing Miss Break the Ceiling Athena. Of course, Zoe Stark recently becoming #1 contender for the Prideful Women's Championship. Mia Yim, who hasn't been featured on Overdrive programming in a very long time, had this to say regarding her actions. She said, "I learned long ago, if you can't get an opportunity, you gotta create your own." And it was a very bold move by Mia. We did talk about it. More on that in a little bit. But that urged a response from the graphics is stuck. From the #1 contender, Zoe Stark, who quote skated it saying, "Listen, I know how it feels to be cast aside, and I respect your guts, but never get involved in my fucking business again." So Zoe obviously not happy with how things went down. She did get the win over Athena last week, but again, Mia Yim, for some reason, targeting Zoe, trying to distract her. Distraction did not work. And of course, as we talked about, Edge, unfortunately, doing what he did, now being a #1 contender alongside Kenny Omega, and all that Seth Rollins had to say was, "It ain't easy being king," and I could not agree with them more. And then I tweeted out, or skeeted out, whatever the hell you want to call it. Of course, me becoming the Gary Steele Stan account for a week. Our top-notch medical team has cleared Imperium for competition starting next week. Of course, Imperium getting jumped by somebody we don't quite know who. Of course, Gunther, leader of Imperium, will be in action this week. So maybe Gunther can avenge in some strange way. Avenge his comrades before they come back next week. But again, we still don't know who attacked Imperium. And our last tweet, Drew McIntyre defeating Moose in the first of a best of 5 last week in the main event. And Drew putting this out there saying, quote, "I never needed anyone's help to kill an endangered species. See you next week for round 2. Bambi, of course, Moose, McIntyre will face each other again. Now, since Moose... Oh, I got a burp. Ooh, I almost threw up on that one. And, of course, Moose, since he is down in the series 1-0, whoever's down in the series gets to decide the stipulation for the next match. So McIntyre has to be ready for anything when he faces Moose next week. And Elias, absolutely nothing to say. Completely gloating in the silence like a fucking stupid poopy man that he is.
No, I'm very curious to see how your card goes tonight. And
we got a lot to live up to. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah, and then what happens in the following best of 7 series between Moose and Drew, obviously. We all know Karrion Kross attacked Imperium, but nobody wants to admit it. So we'll see what's up.
We don't know shit. We'll talk more about that later. But now we got to get into the card for tonight because it's a good one. As we mentioned, Gunther will try to avenge his pals in Imperium, who we still don't know who attacked him, as he will face Karrion Kross, or Killer Kross as we are calling him. Killer Kross interrupting Gunther's promo last week when he was looking for answers, saying that Gunther has lost his killer instinct, that Walter was a man who killed people, but Gunther simply loses when the lights shine the brightest. Gunther having a lot to say about Killer Kross in return. Killer Kross making his first singles appearance in God knows how long as he takes on former Galactic Champion Gunther to kick off the night. And then we are finishing up the opening round of the Grapplers Cup. And we got 2 more mystery debuts tonight. First off, in Group A, the Tomato Man, Tommaso Ciampa, will be welcoming in a new Pride debut. We're not quite sure, who, what, where's coming, or what now with who. But Tomato Champ definitely will have his work cut out for him. But to those saying he's not a submission guy, I show you Tommaso Ciampa, Timothy Thatcher, underrated, pandemic era tag team for Black and Gold. I think Tomato Champ has what it takes to tap out anybody, but it all comes down to who his opponent is. And then, our halfway match for tonight, MJF, of course, defeating Malachi Black last week in what was essentially an eliminator match, a shot for a shot, as MJF called it. Well, now, MJF is offering a #1 contender spot for an eliminator match, and he has handpicked Nick Nemeth, Claudio Big Stromboli, and Ron the Truth Killings in a 3-way dance. As I said, winner gets a shot for a shot at MJF's United States title. Now MJF's probably grinning ear to ear, picking out the roster for this match. And then, post-intermission, match 4. Mia Yim, again, I admired her gusto last week, Not everyone was a fan of this, but I decided to put her in this week's showcase match, a standard fatal 4-way. It will be Mia Yim, Raquel Rodriguez, Hikaru Shida, and Mickie James, the latter of the two staples of Pride's early women's division. Raquel and Mia, nothing to sneeze at. They've had some matches here and there, but as always, an amazing opportunity, a chance to get momentum on your side. And then in our semi-main event, former internet champion Ilja Dragunov in action. He will represent Group B in the final opening round matchup for the Grapplers Cup, and he will take on one final debut. And I know who it is, and let me just say, I'm sad about Gary, but with who you'll see in the semi-main event tonight, makes me feel a whole lot better. And then in our main event, it's going to be chaos. The grand finale of the Grand Reset. Tornado Triple Threat, the Profits versus Ace Empire versus the Prideful Elite. All 3 teams winning Grand Reset matches. Winner will face RKBRO at our next pay-per-view, Phoenix Rising. Now I will say, Elias, I might not have a 4-way swing. I might not have an international title match, but I'm going to declare, mainly for my own ego because it is the size of a piss ant right now, I will declare that Pride will... Shut up, you're not supposed to agree with that, you're supposed to stay silent while I'm talking. Pride will have its first 5-star match tonight. I am calling that right here, and I'm calling that right now.
Okay. I believe you believe that.
Alright, well, before I get even madder, let's go ahead and get into our first segment for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Bayley last week said she was going to open the show with some remarks regarding the prideful Women's Championship, and she is walking down to the ring now.
Well, Bayley gets some stuff off her chest. I'm gonna talk to my slushy guy real quick about making sure that it has nerds in it, because last time it didn't have nerds in it.
That's crime against humanity right there.
Indeed.
Fuck, my camera engine done. Bayley making some very emphatic statements about her history in OCW so far. And she is right. She stumbled against Zoe Stark 2 weeks ago. Bayley still showing a lot of confidence despite what she's been through with Zoe Stark. And uh-oh, she's got company. And look who it is, Miss Break the Ceiling Athena, who has not made a declaration to cash in quite yet. Ooh, that's a bit of a cut right there. For Zelina Vega, one of the only other women to defeat Bayley. Of course, winning the title from Bayley at Battle Scars, but Bayley quickly winning it back. Ooh, that's a bar right there by Athena. Ooh! Oh, shit! And some very interesting words right there by Athena. I think both women are very justified some of the things she said, but Athena is right. You know, whether Bayley wins or loses against Zoe, no matter how much Athena might stumble, as she is right now, she does possess the contract that can change everything. All she has to say is one word, and she is guaranteed a shot at that prideful Women's Championship. And yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're Athena, I think you watch this Phoenix Rising match very closely. But no matter who it is, no matter where Athena might be, again, she is right. She currently has the fastest ticket to the top of the women's division here in OCW. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, as we said, you know, intense words between both women. Obviously, Bayley has a lot on her plate right now. And Athena, I mean, again, she just has to sit back and watch. It could be Zoe, it could be Bayley. But no matter who it is, Athena does indeed have the fastest ticket to the top here in OCW right now.
Absolutely. As Miss Break the Ceiling 1 week in advance, she says the word, she's got a title match. And I think once she puts that gun in the chamber, she's not going to miss. But before that, you know, I mean, we got to see if Zoe Stark can fulfill the prophecy that Stanley and my good friend Stuart have been bitching about for over 5-6 years now.
Because Zoe's so good.
We will see.
She's so good.
Yeah, she's dope, but I don't know, she's kind of boring. Like, I think the most interested I've ever been in Zoe was like year 1 of her NXT run, and that's because, oh, new toy. And I was like, huh, she doesn't know how to talk.
Well, she had the very brief like tag title run with the Io Sky, I believe, too.
Yeah, okay, that was cool too. But other than that, I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, she doesn't know how to talk, and her wrestling's good, but it's not. Oh, she can't talk, but she's fire good. So I was just like,
Well, you know what? Agree to disagree, but you know what match I think it will be fire good? Killer Cross versus Gunther, which is happening right now.
I think
I'm glad he kept the black and white.
Yeah.
They still gave him... I almost completely forgot about Final Testament because WWE was so quick to move away from it. Of course, Killer Cross, you know, his most recent accolades includes competing in the first ever Supremacy War Games match. Of course, he joined up with House of Black for Faction Frenzy, but as we stated last week, he posted on the internet that as of right now, business between him and the House are done. He said that Killer Instinct has returned, and Karrion Kross, I think, is looking to get one of the biggest kills of his career. He and the Ring General, as we said, went back and forth last week. Absolute war of the words. And you know something? I feel like you can't count Karrion Kross out. I know Gunther's got a little bit of size on him, but Karrion Kross is always a dangerous individual. I mean, he enters in black and white. You don't enter in black and white unless you're up to no good or you're Tony Storm, who is often up to no good.
Or the NWO, who were usually up to no good, but then they had that weird run where they were faces, but they were still trying to take over the company. I don't know. WCW was stupid.
And then Vincent was there for some reason, and then the universe crashed. And here comes Gunther, who, much like Braun Breaker, is still holding on to the past, still holding on to that World Heavyweight title, even though it's been long gone from his possession. I don't know if this is supposed to be a statement against Kross or just showing his cowardice, because Kross did mention Gunther, quote, losing titles to the runt of the litter. I'm guessing in reference to Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, two underdogs who weren't supposed to beat Gunther, but did. Of course, Gunther's only major losses in this company, of course, coming at the hands of Seth Rollins for the Galactic title when they traded it back and forth for a little bit. Very memorable time in this company's history. Again, I don't know what kind of statement Gunther's trying to make with this, but maybe in his mind it asserts dominance?
I mean, it's maybe delusion, or maybe it's just somebody not remembering to vacate all titles that aren't OCW specific.
That's fucking ridiculous. How the fuck dare you?
Or maybe did I say you? Why are you being offended?
I'm offended for whoever you're saying it about, because how the fuck dare you?
Or maybe it's the aura of Gunther that he can time travel back before Mania when he was still champion. Who cares?
Like he can't take it off. He put all of his aura powers into that belt.
Yes, that belt specifically, which is why he's been losing so much.
Well, Gunther quickly going to choke out Killer Kross. Killer Kross, of course, harping on that, quote, Killer Instinct, and Gunther. Oh, wait a minute, Kross, though. Reversing, headlock of his own. Oh, and Gunther not playing any games. Very, very rough with Killer Kross right there. Kross a bit slow to get up. I wasn't even saying that to be funny. And Gunther, woo, God. Ass to the dick. I don't know where he got that from.
Crazy work.
Perhaps another show of dominance over Killer Kross. Kross taking punishment, but he's getting back up, no problem. Ow.
I'm not hurt.
It hurt, but Kross seems to be okay. Now, of course, we're over here on Pride, so of course, matches answer to the regular 10 count, and of course, there's us right there. You got an overview shot, And our Spanish commentator, of course.
Indeed, indeed.
And now both men seemingly not know where to grab, and now we're at a bit of a standstill.
Pushing him
Gunther
through the ropes.
Gunther overpowering Cross. Referee not liking fun, breaking the two apart. But they just go right back at it. Does Cross have the strength to push Gunther now? No, Gunther taking control of the wrist. In wrestling, that's all you need to maintain control of a person.
Counter.
Oh, Cross, though.
Now
Getting
he's
some
working
chain
the wrist.
wrestling. Get some chain wrestling out, these two. This is what it's all about right here. Cross got Gunther in a rough position. Indigestion is boiling in my bones.
Cross taking advantage of Gunther here.
Right in the middle of the ring, fans getting a show. Oh, wait, another reversal by Gunther. And once again, choking the life out of Killer Cross. Both these men, like, actually trying to kill each other, being choking each other out, and Gunther still trying to maintain that control.
All right, guys, it's not 1971. You don't have to chain wrestle for 5 minutes.
Well, you have to realize these are two very old-fashioned guys.
Can't Cross be jumping people in parking lots, bro? What do you mean?
Well,
Total
sometimes when you're
one.
old-fashioned, you got to stay fresh by doing, you know, the new-fashioned things. Oh, and Gunther looking for that early splash. He's put men away this way before.
No, he's going for something else. Crossbody, maybe? Drop kick?
No, drop kick.
He too damn big to be down there.
Gunther
Butt
once
splash.
again, butt to the dick.
Surprise butt splash.
Trying to crumple up Killer Cross. Now splash!
There's a splash.
On the same dick.
He likes to talk a lot of shit about the Usos, but he's just going to steal.
Whoa, wait a...
like that?
Whoa,
All
what
right.
the hell?
Who is it now?
Whoa, it's a I do not have them on any fucking rosters. This is kind of bullshit.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
didn't
Wait a
even
minute. Cross
remember
can
they
use
were
it to his
together.
advantage, though. Oh, Cross. Oh, my God. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Karrion Cross playing mind games with the former champion.
Devil snare, but no thing out of it. I don't know if that was Akam or Razor, but hell, if they're not in WWE, they don't even be wrestling for real. So cover.
Powerbomb.
1, 2, 3.
Not enough. And Gunther not very appreciative of Karrion Cross's game. And then Cross bringing out a member of AOP as a way to screw with Gunther. Because, of course, when Cross in his promo harping on his past life as Walter. But Gunther proving he still has that killer instinct, folding up Killer Cross in definitive fashion. The distraction did nothing for nobody.
Yeah, so Karrion Cross and his good old-fashioned mind games did not upset the ring at all this week. But, maybe next week. But now, Grapplers Cup action, right? That
Yes,
tournament's going on to crown new #1 contender for a championship. If I'm not mistaken, Tomato Champ is up next. Do we know his opponent?
We do not. His opponent has remained a mystery until, well, about a minute or two from now. And again, it could be anybody. It could be a free agent. It could be someone from the show that shall not be named. You know, could be another development. No,
The Grace
that
Guy?
no,
The show just put on an all-time classic.
no. Who knows? Could be another member of developmental. I'm not that cheap though. Everyone's got a fucking, no free rides. It's crazy that he just got that logo of the beard with his name, and then he had to shave the beard. That was for a surgery, wasn't it? Got his jaw fixed or something.
I think he fell or something, and it was too bad. To try and cut it, patch around the beard, so they had to cut the beard off so they could fix it.
And of course, we want to talk about someone that has that killer instinct. Tommaso Ciampa's got that and then some. This man at many points has been cold-hearted, black-hearted even, turning his back on the ones he's loved the most. Now, of course, he and his former tag team partner Gargano, on friendly terms now.
Survive.
Wearing DIY in honor of his friend. But remember, this man, he's not with Johnny Gargano right now. It is simply Tommaso Ciampa's world, and we are living in it. But who is going to be the one to enter it? And again, a cold, dead stare on the face of Tommaso Ciampa. Of course, he and Timothy Thatcher had that tag run where they both proved that they could absolutely choke the life out of you. I think Ciampa's looking to do that to whoever comes through that curtain. Man, he's got a nice ass. And wait a minute.
Wait, what's he do?
Oh, wow.
It's the walking weapon.
And a member of Glory, a second one, has made his way into the Grapplers Cup. Josh Alexander is here. And Tommaso, you better put him out of his misery now. Failure is not an option here. Chad Gable already advanced last week. Advanced in the second round. I really hope that's not the case, but 2 members of Glory could make it to the round of 8 in the Grapplers Cup. Josh Alexander, not the warmest welcome from the Nebula. Of course, this is a very educated crowd. You know, they know who's right and who's wrong.
Absolutely, but can Josh Alexander show that he is indeed the best around when it comes to technical wrestling and knock out Tommaso Ciampa, a guy who's shown that he is not to be slouched at?
It is the Battle of the Baldies submission match, Grapplers Cup, opening round.
How many opening round matches do you have again? 8?
16 competitors in total. So yeah, 8 in the first round. And of course, if we haven't put the graphic up already, we will be putting that up. Of course, we've seen a lot of shocks, you know, in this first round. Of course, we saw Hook debut last week and pick up the win. Ivy Nile, so far the only female to advance in the tournament, tapping out Claudio in the middle of the ring. Maybe that's why MJF chose Claudio.
Didn't Io win?
No, Io lost to Shelton.
Nah, true.
And Ciampa, not very appreciative, but Alexander's saying, I don't like you either. And we're getting a big old slap fight.
And back and forth. Who finishes first?
Bald. 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 Oh, bald. Bald. Who's the best of the Baldies? Both these men want it so much. And now they're resorting to good old-fashioned right hooks. Look at the speed of the punches by Ciampa and Alexander.
Josh Alexander.
Oh, Alexander! Death Valley Driver. Could have gone into a cover.
Not what that is.
Though. What it looked like. A snapmare. And Ciampa very slow to fall to his back. Of course, Ciampa's had surgery on that neck before. Not a bad place to target if you're Alexander. Alexander now. Wrenching back that neck, but Ciampa very quick to fight out. Oh, wait. Oh, Ciampa going for that early victory. Steps through. Sharpshooter. Middle of the ring. Alexander said, you ain't done nearly enough. Oh, moonsault. The springboard moonsault hitting for everybody this week. That meeting held by Johnny Overdrive really did wonders. What a roll-up. Ciampa for the win, but not even a one ski. Referee couldn't even get down. What a right elbow. Ciampa trying to say, this is my territory. This is my ring. Looking to meet in the middle with just him. Gets it. And now looking through that sharpshooter again. Ciampa steps through, but he's very close to the ropes.
Again, Josh is super close. He doesn't even need him. The strength of the back of Josh Alexander.
Those are some pretty thick thighs. Probably the thickest thighs in all of Canada. Thicker than any maple tree branch. Uh-oh, Alexander. Oh, I thought he was looking for that rusty nail. But now trying to stretch out Ciampa. Wait, this could work. No, Ciampa slips away. Deep arm drag.
Yeah, you need to be stopped. All right, Josh Alexander. Oh, almost looked like Tommaso kicked him in the dick there.
Well, the ref didn't see it, but I don't think
Counter.
he did. And what a counter by Alexander. Oh, gee. Oh, Ciampa just folded right there. Did you see how hard Alexander hit him? But Ciampa immediately fighting back. Now he's looking for something. Maybe a pedigree?
No, fairy tale ending.
For fairy tale ending! And now he's got to lock something in. Probably going to try to go for that sharpshooter. Oh, Alexander, though, rolling to his stomach. Saves himself some time. But Ciampa now angling him just enough away from the ropes. This could be it. Alexander's got to move if he wants this. No, he shakes him off again.
Also, that's a cloverleaf. Sharpshooter is the leg in between their legs.
And this is why there are two of us, because I get things wrong all the time.
Josh Alexander now wailing on Ciampa.
And I'd say you can't win this match outside the ring, but Io Sky did get counted out. What a clothesline. I love the sound effects sometimes. That's just the thud from that kick to the face.
Right.
It's really funny. Alan Ciampa, the disrespect, casting out there to the side, but wait a minute, Alexander's back in the ring. And I don't know, did he just put his ass to the face? Like the side of his ass?
I don't know what it was, but it worked. Both men are now down.
I don't know how. That looked like that did fucking nothing. And now Ciampa looking for that cloverleaf again. Oh, trying to stomp the dick. Oh, and he does and steps over it.
Right in the bread basket.
Alexander going over. Oh, wait. The Ciampa immediately there to meet him with the right. And now, ooh. And Alexander not moving now down the ground. What's he thinking? So they can come to me.
Ciampa.
Broken broom handle. Please put him in a submission with that. I guess not. Looking for another. No, not a fairy tale. Oh!
Project Ciampa connects.
And now the
Into the
cloverleaf once
cloverleaf.
again. Well, Alexander tap. Alexander hangs on. And Ciampa now, tired of all the hanging on, now trying to work on the legs of Alexander. Wants to make that cloverleaf so excruciatingly painful, he has no choice. And Ciampa, meet in the middle again with just him.
Calling for it again.
And looking for another fairy tale ending. I thought love was only true in fairy tales, and it might be, but violence is even truer. Once again, middle of the ring, blood on the face of Alexander. Locked in, locked in, locked in.
And Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa.
Wait, that's a pay raise right there.
And wins his first round Grapplers Cup match. I believe in the Blackheart, ladies and gentlemen. I think this man has the potential to go all the way.
He very much could. Ciampa once again proving to the OCW Nebula that he has what it takes to be a submission specialist. Great showing by both men, but especially Ciampa. Josh Alexander can suck the maple out of a tree when he gets home. Tommaso Ciampa moving on to the second round. But that's how you get the syrup from the tree.
No.
Have you never been to Canada?
You tap the tree. I've been. You tap the tree. Don't fucking suck the syrup out of you. What are you deviant? Get help.
Well, see, I tried, but our insurance isn't comprehensive enough. Anyways, let's get on to the third and midway match of the evening. A hand-picked three-way
Pay out
dance.
of pocket like a millennial.
Do what?
I said pay out of pocket like a millennial.
No, I don't have that kind of money.
The wanted man, ladies and gentlemen.
And this is Nemeth's first time in OCW under the Nick Nemeth name. Of course, he was drafted as Dolph Ziggler, but he was still in the Fed. And of course, Nick Nemeth, you know, honestly, kind of following in the footsteps of Matt Cardona, almost immediately, you know, going out, making a name for himself. Though unlike Cardona, who kept traveling different indies, Nemeth quickly found himself in places like New Japan and eventually TNA, which is now connected to WWE. Crazy how that shit works, but Nemeth was a TNA champion. I think. Did he and Ryan win the tag champs, or are they?
And the current TNA tag team champions. Yep.
Okay.
So
That's
since
why
leaving WWE, he's been NWJP Global Champion, AAA Mega Champion, TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I think there was another indie belt, and then TNA World Tag Team Champion with his brother Ryan Nemeth.
Are those receipts on his jacket? What the hell? Like, are those receipts for, like, everyone who's ever wronged him in this business? AKA Vince McMahon and Eddie Kingston?
I have no idea. It's the first time I've seen this year.
Claudio Big Stromboli, of course, as we mentioned earlier, you know, suffering a first-round upset at the hands of Ivy Nile, torture rack, middle of the ring. So I think Claudio, you know, once again, much like with that four-way swing over on Glory, Claudio, really everybody in this match is trying to prove that they belong, that they have a place in OCW. But yeah, I bet Claudio more than anybody else wants to get back in that W column. I mean, obviously, no shame. Ivy Nile, terrific competitor. But, you know, I don't think anyone was expecting that kind of outcome.
No, shout out True. Is this a showcase match? Is that what this is?
No, this man doesn't listen to anything, folks.
Oh, this is the number one contender three-way dance.
Number one contender for an eliminator match against MJF. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Shot for a shot.
MJF's a dickhead, right? Yeah.
Of course, MJF does have a specialty in picking talent for showcase matches. He hosted a few weeks in a row following his internet title. Following his internet title reign, which was short-lived. And R-Truth, you know, obviously Truth's beloved everywhere he goes. But Truth, you know, out of the three people in this match, Truth is really the only one who hasn't seemingly found his footing in OCW. Nick Nemeth, when he was Dolph Ziggler, did become part of the good people with Claudio. So mind games by MJF trying to put two friends together. Maybe they work together and go after Truth, or maybe they have a gentleman's agreement. Hey, any man for himself. But R-Truth, being the odd man out, could play to his advantage here if there's tension between Nemeth and Castagnoli.
Absolutely.
Well, as Truth says, we will see what's up here in just a second. And Claudio immediately. Oh, but Nemeth also immediately. Nemeth saying there will be no pack today. Every man for himself. Honestly, it makes sense MJF would want to pit, you know, two partners against each other, of course, having to face off against them in Faction Frenzy. You know, MJF trying to tear families apart because he can't find one of his own. Nick Nemeth, what a running bulldog. And now Truth just gonna kind of sit back. His fucking Jordans he's got on are very fucking sweet. Yeah, Truth shuffling back there. Maybe practicing his tap dancing as Nick Nemeth trying to work on the fingies of Castagnoli and knees right to the back. Oh, wait. Here comes Truth, though. Of course, Truth deciding to go by Ron the Truth Killings instead of going by just straight up R-Truth here to OCW. Maybe trying to harken back to his days in NWA and TNA. Castagnoli! A big uppercut to Truth. He's trying to put someone away very early. Stromboli now, manhandling Truth in the corner. Oh, Nemeth, though, with the interception. Now he's going to try to put Claudio in a corner. Claudio fights back, but no one's watching Truth. And Truth, well, I guess they didn't really have to watch him. No, wait. Maybe they did. Face planting. Oh, with the cover.
Okay. Not enough.
R-Truth
showing a good bit of metal here.
R-Truth trying to go for the Sami Zayn pin. And now Nemeth trying to...
from the guitar, the kaboing.
And Claudio. Now he's going to sneak in. Got wrenched. Plants him. Nima landed on the side of the guitar right there. And uh-oh. Well, Claudio stomping out the heart of Truth. And of course, R-Truth takes any offense like a human pinball machine. And Claudio, ooh! No love lost for his fellow good people partner. But now back to the head twice is R-Truth. R-Truth finding that killer instinct. Of course, Round the Truth Killings, what's a very feared competitor. What a swinging neck breaker.
Two-time NWA World Champion.
And Truth, oh God. And of course, Truth trying to recapture championship gold for the first time in a very long time with a drop kick. Now Truth and Nemeth going at it. You know, good amount of history between these two. And Truth, snapmare. And Claudio going to look for a weapon of his own, but Truth says, nuh-uh, not today.
Truth celebrating a little too early. Oh, out there.
The fatal flaw, you can't celebrate in OCW.
Absolutely not. Powerbomb.
Oh! From the floor and back to the floor. Claudio showcasing that strength. And now... Oh, Jesus. Oh, wait, Truth, though, going for the Sami pin. And Nick Nemeth rolled right in the way of the referee. I don't know if that was intentional, but Nemeth possibly saving Claudio from being eliminated in this three-way dance. Now Truth trying to maintain some control. Absolute chaos so far. Honestly, no one man able to take full advantage because when you're going after one, there's another man right around the corner. And Claudio. Oh, what a dodge by Nemeth, jumping the kendo shot and hitting Claudio with a springboard fist.
But now he's in trouble. Deep arm drag.
Oh! European uppercut. Truth's taken a number of those so far. Absolutely taking his licks, and R-Truth, you'd think he just broke into the business. And Claudio just folded R-Truth in half.
Stepping into that sharpshooter.
Looking for that first fall. Nemeth just going to watch his buddy do what he do. And doing the do not enough. And I don't know who or what just happened right there, but Claudio wins the exchange.
Powerbomb.
Being a little nice to his friend, not powerbombing him on the table. And Claudio puts his friend out of his misery.
It's now a one-on-one match.
Let's see, can Claudio capitalize? Now it's just him and Truth. What an uppercut. Truth fall. Oh, Truth! Moving like he's still 27. Moving like he's still 27. What a cover. Here, there. Oh, what Claudio reverses. Oh, and Truth reverses again. Wow. R-Truth trying so desperately to get that Sami Zayn-like pin. And now, an STF locked in, middle of the ring. Well, not middle of the ring, but still. Truth powers out, though.
His childhood hero, John Cena's.
Who's told him never give up. Uppercutting out of the back of the head.
Claudio.
And what's he thinking with that table now? Uh-oh.
Bending it up. Let's see if he ends up going through it. Oh, no.
This could be the end for Ronald Truth.
Gut wrench slam there.
All he's got to do is pick him up and put him in a power bomb. Oh, wait. Instead, into the table.
Truth
No
saying
truth, though.
absolutely not.
Truth saying that's not what's up.
And again, the law of the land is you set it up.
Whoa, whoa,
You
whoa,
go
whoa,
through
whoa,
it.
whoa.
No, counter.
Uh-oh. Oh, I thought Cesaro was going to be thinking suplex right there, but no.
Cesaro.
Another uppercut. Oh, God. An uppercut to the back of Truth's head, and his face went right into the edge of that table. Uh-oh. It's time to stop. Oh.
Cover.
And the stoppage for the win. It's time to stop, says Claudio.
That uppercut to the back of the head, followed by him face planting into the edge of the table, and then the stop sign piece of resistance. Claudio is the new.
A second. Go ahead, sorry.
Is the new #1 eliminator.
And a second member of the Good People qualifying for a United States title shot. Or with a chance at United States, I should say, of course, Hangman Page, a former United States champion. MJF will await with his eliminator match. I'm guessing, well, I'm not guessing. I booked the shit for next week. What a match by all three men, and honestly, you have to wonder what the dynamic between the Good People is going to be like going forward. Of course, Hangman Page, Claudio Castagnoli, Shelton Benjamin, Nick Nemeth, all together. Of course, Shelton still in the Grapplers Cup, but man, I mean, I think they got some stuff to sort out. I mean, Claudio was a bit merciful, not powerbombing Nemeth into that table, but obviously not a lot of love lost between those two.
Hello?
What? I'm here.
I heard not a lot of loss between, and then nothing.
Not a lot of love lost between those two, and that was it.
Good. Okay. Well, next up, we got Showcase Women's Fatal 4-Way.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is Pride's first major showcase match back, or at least definitely the first women's showcase. Here comes the blazing baddie, Mia Yim, of course, causing a bit of a ruckus last week in Zoe Stark and Athena's match. And like I said, you mess with whoever you mess with, you're gonna suffer the consequences of that. But I did admire Mia Yim's gusto. Of course, Mia Yim came over to Pride thanks to a trade. Hasn't really been able to find her footing, but I mean, hey, she wants it that bad. Okay, let's see what you got.
Yeah, the HBIC of WWE, according to her anyway, has the opportunity to make her mark here on Pride, probably truly for the first time. If she can win this match and set herself up for a future Pride Pro Women's Championship match.
Of course, the line for the Pride Pro Women's Championship getting long enough as is. Already, Zoe Stark and Athena, the two #1 contenders, if you want to put it like that, for the title. But here comes somebody who definitely embodies women's showcase matches. She's been in quite a few of them. The powerhouse Raquel Rodriguez. Now, I mean, I hate she hasn't been able to find her way into OCW because I've been big on Raquel since she was in NXT. If I'm not mistaken, she got a victory over Rhea Ripley on Ripley's way out of NXT. Of course, she was NXT Women's Champion for a short time, and a tag team champion. Of course, she was long gone by the time that the Women's North American title came along. But you know what? I bet if that belt comes along earlier, I think Raquel definitely wins it.
Yeah, no, sure. Well, there are a couple women who could easily be NXT Triple Crown champ. Well, not a couple. I think it's just her, Dakota, and Io. Right? Yeah. And I guess technically Zoe. Right. Out of people who realistically could have won the other two, I think that is indeed the four. Because no offense to Casey and Caden Alba Fire. Yeah, Alba Fire could have. That's about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes a woman who's been a staple of OCW 1.0, Hikaru Shida. the samurai of the women's division. I mean, she's put on some absolutely phenomenal matches. Part of the first ever three-way dance, part of the first ever women's main event, putting her kendo stick on a pedestal. Because in the wrestling ring, the kendo stick is your sword. And Hikaru Shida looking locked in and ready for action as she makes her return to the orange brand. Bound to the crowd, sign of respect. Of course, crowd absolutely over the moon for Shida.
I mean, she deserves it. One of the greatest women in the history of AEW. Obviously, one of the forebearers of the LCW Pride Women's Division. Who knows what it would look like without her? And then probably one of the greatest exports in Japanese wrestling history. Shout out Joshi.
Indeed. But here comes somebody who has made a ton of history for women's wrestling in the United States. Mickie James, of course, one half of Generations with her and Roxanne Perez. Mickie, she's had her time in the spotlight as a main eventer here in OCW. Having a championship match against Bayley. Mickie, of course, also super crucial in the development of the women's division. Might not have the wins to show for it, but does have the important matches in some phenomenal spots. And she might be the veteran, but Mickie James, since coming to OCW, it's like she's a whole new woman, moving like she was when she was super young. And thankfully, she's on a big stage where we actually respect women's wrestling, unlike a certain other, certain people from Connecticut.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is being conducted under Fatal 4-Way rules, so just one fall to a finish. Here we go, and let's see who kills each other first. That did not take long.
Not at all. Mickie James absolutely laying out Raquel Rodriguez as Shida and Mia Yim commit an Asian on Asian violence.
And what a moonsault, but Shida misses. Maybe a little bit of ring rust. But Shida not looking to miss those two strikes. Her and Yim still going at it. Mickie James still getting the best of Raquel.
I think that would be a cool match to see.
It would be a very cool match to see. You're right. And Mickie now. Oh, senton over the ropes. Again, Mickie James moving like she's, 10, 15 years younger. Oh, stiff knee by Mickie James. And now the only woman standing in this match, Mickie James on a roll. The Nebula loving it.
Gold standard when it comes to, veteran women's wrestlers. Mickie James out here saying that this is still her time.
And Michin,
Stubborn.
first one to go for a weapon. And wow, Shida almost stealing the fall right there. And Yim gets the kendo stick, doesn't bring it with her, and eats a clothesline by Raquel.
Shida kicks to the back of Mickie James' head.
And Raquel not grabbing the kendo stick. Instead, she's going to go in the ring. What? Is she going to go after Shida and James? Or no, going to fly. Broken broom handle. And Mia Yim receiving a lot of punishment so far. And wow, Mickie James. I don't know if you saw when Michin was rolled into the ring, she pushed back Shida while Mickie was going off the rope, having to adjust on the fly, and Shida, top rope moonsault connects. And Mia Yim's got to roll out the ring. What a punch by Mickie. Mick kick. This could be an early finish.
1, 2. No, kicked out.
A very stiff kick by Mickie James. That's put many women away, but not today. Mia Yim showing off despite having nothing to show off about. Meanwhile, Mickie trying to break the fingers of Shida.
Knees to the back.
And we didn't see what happened with Mia Yim and Raquel, but I bet it was really cool.
Oh, Shida.
And Shida's continuing to fly. Oh, God. Into just like a bitch.
Oh.
A little Falcon Arrow action. And now Mia Yim with the ankle of Mickie James locked in on the outside right in front of us.
Oh,
Stiff knee by Shida.
Shida there.
And Raquel might be out. She might be knocked out.
1, 2.
Wow.
3. She is in.
Shida with quick work, sneaking a victory.
Shida not needing her katana or counter feet to win the match.
And both would have been legal in this too, but Shida doing it about as clean as you could, and a sign of respect to the Nebula, who respect her back. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised Shida was able to do that, but I mean, you know, she's a high flyer, but showing off that physicality with that victory.
You know the katana is her finisher, right? It's the spinning heel kick
I thought you meant an actual
not
katana.
literal. No, yeah, the katana is the spinning kick to the face, and then Thomas is the running knee. Yeah. No. Yeah, she just straight up boosted her ass with a knee to the face. It works. But next up, more Grapplers Cup action.
Ilja Dragunov, the final match in the first round. Ilja, a bit of a mixed bag in OCW, has seen his success. He is a one-time internet champion. And, has had great matches. Had a great one with Kenny Omega in Rollins Roulette. This is Ilja's first match in 2.0. I mean, win or lose, this guy, no matter what, every match will fight his heart out. And that's why he was such a valuable pick.
Right, come back from injury, honestly.
I'm surprised I thought it would be, like, right after Mania. Like, I figured he probably wouldn't make Mania. Yeah, you know what, maybe...
I mean, take his time, obviously, but yeah.
I was kind of thinking, what if when they did, like, the final, like, Money in the Bank match, like, it was him.
Yeah.
Honestly, if that was the case, like, he's winning. Like, if he debuts, like, to qualify for Money in the Bank and he wins, he's winning Money in the Bank.
I don't even know who I want to win this year.
Well, let's see. Sammy qualified. Is Cross gonna get a match?
I think so.
I mean, I'd need to look at who's qualified so far. I do love Money in the Bank seasons. It's one of my favorites.
I know Kyrie just qualified. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Give it to Kyrie.
And Ilja, a little wink and nod at the crowd. But here's the thing. He has no idea who his opponent is tonight. The final debut of the Grapplers Cup. Here's the thing. I know exactly who it is. And in these darkened times...
Julia is in it. And so is Roxy. Yeah, I'll take Roxy.
But in these darkened times, this makes me feel a little better. Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, your newest member of Overdrive Pride, former international champion, and Mr. Break the Ceiling, Rusev, is a member of the Orange Brand. When I said I had no money, I lied. I was saving money so I could get the signing rights to one Miro Rusev. And I gotta say, this investment already paying off. What an ovation by the Nebula here tonight. Rusev is part of the Orange Brand, and a little bit of me has come back to life.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, Konosuke and Yuka got married. That's cool. I know the AEW women are super depressed about that.
Why? Because was Konosuke like the hottest, most eligible bachelor?
Yes. Every time I heard like AEW backstage stuff, like everybody's like, yeah, no, all the bitches love Konosuke.
Everyone wants to fuck Takeshita. And what a Herculean task Ilja has in front of him, and Rusev wasting no time. His final match on Glory against Jacob Fatu, and trying to go for that submission already. Rusev trying to go for a record-breaking win. And obviously, Rusev has kept his eye on the Grapplers Cup, trying to call up to Ivy Nile and also Lex Luger to an extent. Also, speaking of, I heard that apparently Lex was so over in WCW that, like, it was a thing for people to like to go to shows with their friends, and then when the camera was panning around, like put your friend in the torture rack, which is fucking crazy. It's a shame WWE did Lex so dirty.
Yeah.
Lex, obviously a very buff man, and these are two very buff men in the ring, and Rusev now trying to choke the life out of Dragunov, that sheer raw power. Oh, look at him.
So yeah, no, I thought maybe you were expecting to get some reaction out of me or whatever, but no, I'm happy for Miro or Rusev or whatever he wants to go by, you know. He didn't really have anything left to do in Glory. I mean, he couldn't beat Okada, which, to be fair, not a lot of people can. He currently is still the greatest international champion ever. So I have nothing but high praise for him. But we have Jacob Fatu. So I think we'll be okay.
What a reversal. What a reversal by Rusev. Sorry to interrupt you, but Rusev trying to choke the life out of Dragunov. He got his feet around his neck quickly. Oh, that's locked in. That is locked in. Rusev not letting go. Trying to go for the quick victory. Oh, Dragunov. I know, Rusev just straight up hit him.
I'm trying to think what would be worse, like passing out in between a grown man's thighs because he's choking me out, or tapping out.
Woo!
I feel like passing out would be worse. I'm tapping you. Or get me out of here. Yeah.
Oh no, definitely passing out. Because I mean, I had a joke and I lost it. What a headbutt by Rusev.
Good.
Yeah, I'm about to say, if I lost it, it's probably best I don't say it.
It didn't need to be said. All right, Rusev.
And
gut
Rusev,
wrench.
Gut wrench, like arm drag. That kind of looked like, quite honestly.
I'm just going
Rusev,
Rusev
locking in the accolade.
Over. Oh yes, the accolade again. Yeah.
You know what? It's Game Over, Accolade. That's the company that made Bubsy. And Ilja taps. And still
Rusev
tapping.
Not letting go.
And he's still tapping. And I know Rusev let it go, but Ilja's still tapping. The phantom touch is too strong. It's happening right in front of us. He's still tapping. Rusev with a statement victory. And to quote a little bit what you said when he won Break the Ceiling, we are all in trouble. Rusev 1-0 on Overdrive Pride. What a debut already. Money well spent. Money well spent. I'm very, very happy about that.
Now, very interesting match.
Now I can't use money as an excuse anymore. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have a more creative out by next week.
The Grand Reset Finals, ladies and gentlemen.
The grand finale. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to say we didn't do Triple Threat Tornado Tag for this match because it was the only option in the game for some stupid reason. No, because that would be stupid. Now, we chose tornado rules for this because, believe it or not, tornado tag matches have kind of been a staple of OCW. You know, giant 8-man tornado tag matches at one point were used to determine who would be a #1 contender. You know, guys beating the shit out of each other. Almost impossible to get a pinfall, but eventually one team prevails. Tornado tag is just part of the tag division's DNA, so we decided for this grand finale, we were bringing it back. And
it's not like you wanted to do a gauntlet match and you couldn't do it, or, you know.
Well, no, I didn't want to do a gauntlet. It was more so, triple threat tag team matches should be in the game. They are a thing. But
they don't want to program it because it's lazy.
Well, and also because you know how every time we make the card but then back out it resets? I didn't want to have to go through that again.
Is it in the game?
Didn't. Maybe you could set it up through custom matches, but it wasn't available by default, and I did not like that. And I didn't want to back out to have to go create the match. I do want to point out, Angelo, he wears his jacket like the Admirals do in One Piece, and that's really fucking cool. I never got why they do that, but I love it when they do that. Where they just wear this shit on their shoulders so they can quickly whip it off. Of course, Street Profits welcomed everyone back to the Orange brand as they had the first match on Pride's return. Of course, facing the Lucha Brothers, a team that they've been in the ring with more than anybody else. Street Profits getting that victory. First match of the Grand Reset. Got Indigestion still kicking my ass, even at the main event. It's been 2 shows. I was about to say, guys, can we turn the lights back on? But next up, part of Forever Your Empire Club. Ladies and gentlemen, Ace Empire. Of course, they defeated Top Flight, Dante and Darius. After Imperium was jumped, mind you, Top Flight was put in as a last-second substitution. And just like always, both teams had an incredible match, chemistry on all sides. But Ace Empire finally getting that breakthrough victory that they have been looking for since 1.0. Of course, 2 of the best to ever do it. 2 of the best in ring right now. President Tanahashi and Will Ospreay. And finally, the only other team to hold the Prideful Tag Team Championships for less than a week. Well, it might have been 2 weeks because we always took the week break between pay-per-views. But ladies and gentlemen, part of the Prideful Elite, Matt and Nick Jackson, also EVPs in the alternate universe, but you know what? They're super professional here, and I appreciate them for that.
You can do an 8-way backstage brawl.
All right, that has to be the pre-show for like Pick Your Poison. That'd be like an internet contender #1 contender thing.
Yeah, so tag matches are only 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 3-on-3 tornado tag, 4-on-4, and then triple threat or fatal 4-way tornado tag. There is not a 4 corners or triple threat tag team total, unfortunately.
There should be. Like,
definitely
also,
should be.
I don't like how, like, because I think in 4 ways only like 2 teams should be in at the same time. Like, no. I think it should be a fatal 4-way where everyone can go to their corner and tag.
Yeah, but that's boring.
That sounds boring to me. That sounds cool as hell.
No, I like the fatal 4-way where you can tag anybody. That's way cooler. Because at that point, you're like, because what if they just decide to like beat the shit out of one guy of the 4 teams and just make sure he can never tag in?
Yes, that's true.
Like, yeah, like, say the champions are, like, on one corner. Like, let's say the champions are top right corner. They just beat the shit out of whatever champion's in the ring, and then, like, he can't tag in. Like, and then they cuff him to, like or zip tie him to one side of the ring. He can never tag out, yeah.
And bodies flying everywhere right now. Tornado DDTs, suplexes, and all that stuff. Oh, my. And Dawkins planning President Tanahashi. Oh, Jackson going for the cover. Not even a 1-ski. Again, bodies flying everywhere, as is the spirit of tornado tag matches. Such a beautiful fucking sight. Oh no, Poison Rana by Jackson, but Ospreay there to break it up immediately. Of course, 1 fall to a finish here. Now Ospreay choking out, I believe, Tez. Dawkins, though, going up against one of the Bucks, and uh-oh.
Matt has bandana and Nick doesn't. That's
Matt
how you
has
know
bandana,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, Matt had a kendo stick for a second, but quickly knocked out of his hand. Ospreay doing some work on Montez. His partner trying to do work on Nick. And now planning Angelo. Angelo probably should have gone to save his partner. But now Montez just getting a few minutes off. A nice drop kick by Nick. And now Matt going for the leg drop. And Montez is still just sitting there chilling. Nope, not anymore. Cover by Matt. Out at 1. Now the President looking for something. Ospreay up and down. Tanahashi, the Papa Tanahashi. Again, nothing but just happy slaps. Now Montez out the ring.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
Matt.
also, Matt will always be the darker haired brother. His is black. Nick's is like brunette.
Fair enough. Now Tanahashi going for some kind of stretch middle of the ring.
Tez looking for that tornado DT, missing. Nobody there.
Dawkins back, getting hit with a backbreaker. Oh God! Nick using the nails in the back of Ford, running power bomb by Matt. And the president has to roll out.
On Dawkins.
And Ospreay is alone. And Nick hits Ospreay with the kendo stick and then immediately goes for the cover. That was fucking cold. And Dawkins throwing Nick over his shoulder. Nick now having to roll out. Uh-oh. Ospreay meets him with the kendo. And now the Papa H sending Matt out the ring. Hurricane Rana by Nick. Angelo with the president in the corner. Montez not looking to do teamwork.
Sharpshooter by Nick Jackson on Will Ospreay.
That's not gonna do him much. Not gonna do him much good outside the ring. But hey, do you?
Matt has Angelo Dawkins up. Ooh,
wow. Again, these guys beating the shit out of each other. Tanahashi, a little winded. That age starting to catch up with him a little bit. But takes out Matt. And now Nick with a chair. And now without a chair. Chairless Nick Jackson super kick. Cover. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Tanahashi was right fucking there. And he did nothing.
He was stunned.
And the Prideful Elite have a 2v2 rematch with RKBRO. I'm actually very, very mad though, because Tanahashi should have broken that up.
Now you know how I feel every time I watch a goddamn Pride tag match.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3 + 2 stars on that, so 5 stars. I lived up to my guarantee.
3 + 2, these nuts. 2 is the amount of times Tanahashi could have broke that pin up. Anyway, good episode of Pride. Not better than Glory, but we knew that. I'm excited to see Bucks versus RK-Bro at Phoenix Rising. I'll say that. I think that'll be a good match.
The Bucks, as we said, the only other team to hold the Prideful Tag belts. Winning that in TLC 1 at Battle Scars, but then the Bucks in the 2v2 run back drop the titles back to RK-Bro. Prideful Elite could very well be in possession of 3 championship belts come the end of Phoenix Rising. A little wrench thrown into that plan though, because Kenny Omega now might not be facing Seth Rollins. He could be facing that other douchebag.
That's Adam Copeland, the greatest internet champion of all time. Yeah. Put some respect on his name, bitch. Put some respect on his name. Edge Adam Copeland, the greatest internet champion of all time.
Now, this is only a thing because could you try to fucking work me? And you worked me too hard. Now we're shooting.
And it worked.
How dare you? I wouldn't even stoop that low. I wouldn't even stoop that low.
You let it work. You did.
I didn't let nothing work. It's all Darby Allin's fault. Him and his Mount Everest climbing ass. Couldn't fucking come back in time to save us from shit.
Well, too bad, too sad. Edge is the greatest internet champion of all time. And he will be cashing in on Seth Rollins very soon.
As I said, we will have more information on that next week. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us for more Overdrive programming. I will be shaved and well kempt next week. I'm gonna go sleep for about 72 hours and then get to work on post-production. Elias, I hate you. But I guess another.
Love you too, bud. Absolutely, I had a great week. A phenomenal week, actually.
If I could eat my keyboard, I would. Have a good night, everybody.